Here's your host, Dennis Rimmer.
Yes, this is Talking Books and Stuff, your favorite podcast, I'm sure, by far. Talking today with Angela Jamieson on the line with us from somewhere in Saskatchewan. I won't say where, because, maybe she doesn't want us to tell you. But Angela Jamieson has been an engineer and is now an author, along with all sorts of other stuff. And the book we have that we're discussing, along with her career, is Using Number Two to Get to Number One, the shockingly insightful, full of crap self-help book. It's a personal development journey with a digestive twist. So, Angela,
Yes.
where did all of this start? What's the central question or problem you were trying to solve when you started writing Using Number Two to Get to Number One?
Well, I don't think there's a central problem. I think it's my love of self-help and then a lifetime of just having kind of a digestive system focus in my thoughts. I'm a little bit warped that way, I think. But it was kind of my first chapter because everyone's going, why are you writing a book like this? And when I did a lot of self-examination, I was thinking, I think it must be because my dad rationed our toilet paper when we were young. I live on an acreage south of Saskatoon, and this is the same acreage I grew up on. And we used to have septic pump issues, when we were kids. And my dad was sure we were using too much toilet paper. And he used to tell us, stop using too much toilet paper. But he would listen, and my siblings, because, I try to do it really quietly. It kind of made me super self-conscious about being in the bathroom. But my siblings would, hit the roll to try to find the end. And my dad was sure they were just letting reams of paper fall to the ground and then envisioning all of this stuff going in the pump and then going ballistic. So one day he just said, I am going to be the holder of the toilet paper. If you need to go, you must find me and tell me what you're going to do. I will give you 1 square for number 1 and 2 squares for number 2. So that's kind of how we lived for a while. And I think that's why I am so conscious of going to the bathroom. Because when you're a kid and then you have to realize that you have to go, plus go find your dad on 10 acres who's landscaping somewhere and get this all, organized so you can get some paper, then I think it just sort of works itself into your psyche. So that's where I think it all started.
And that's hardly enough to, anyway, yeah, 2 squares for number 2, you could, anyway.
Yeah, no, and that's how it also ended, because I'm sure I might be the only person on the planet who has heard their parents argue about the number of squares of toilet paper, and my mom saying, that is not enough. You don't know anything about female anatomy.
Yes.
And so really shortly after that, all of the toilet paper was back.
Oh, good. But for a while there, you're facing this triple problem. A, you have to go. B, you have to find the source of the tissue. And C, and then you have to get the tissue.
Exactly. And you have to run back into the house.
Oh, right.
Which, when you're a kid and you're playing, you don't really, if you got to go, sometimes it's the last minute.
Yes.
So sometimes I was, stalled on a toilet and I'd have to yell for help.
Oh.
So that's, it's just like this whole traumatic thing. And I don't even know how long it lasted. It seems like forever, but it just also shows you the acceptance of how you're raised. You just go along with it because this is what your parents said.
Right.
And never once did I go to my dad numerous times to say, hey, I gotta poo, and then stockpile it. I never did that. I just found him when I legit needed to go to the bathroom. And so if I was a little craftier, I would have probably, gone to see him and said, I gotta go again, and then stockpiled it, but no.
No. or it's gone out and bought some on your own.
Yeah, but living where we lived and being the age I was, there was no going out on my own.
That's right. So what were you doing before you decided to write this book?
I was a petroleum engineer, so I've actually had this book concept in my head for probably decades. I remember my daughter was born, and she's 23 now, but she was really young, and I told a colleague at work the title of my book, and he thought it was hilarious, but I didn't get around to writing it until, you know, 2025. So, yeah, it took me that long. But it's also, everything happens in its perfect timing because, as you have more kids, you also get more toilet stories. So it's all perfect.
It's all perfect. What have you learned from your children about numbers 1 and numbers 2 and getting to number 1?
Yeah, and so the title of the book, the number 2 is, of course, referring to poop.
Yep.
And number 1, though, is not P. It means the best you. So
Correct.
Using number 2 to get to your best self, number 1.
Sweet.
Yeah, my kids show up a few times in the book, not a huge amount, but one of the biggest things is the joy kids find in the whole bathroom discussion. And it's like, it just points out how pure that humor is. And also, when it's something you experience, when you personally experience it, it just means so much more to you. So, if someone expels gas, there's just like so much joy in that because kids love all that stuff.
I know.
So it's like finding joy in the smallest simple things. And I think that's sort of what I really was, my kids emphasized for me.
So do you have an audience in mind, or is this kind of for everybody, the book?
Well, I used to say it's for everyone who poops. So that's
right. That could
kind
be
of the world. But I guess, it's for people who don't mind thinking about it. And it really should, I'm not gross in the book at all.
No.
It's just using the process in terms of, since everyone does it, everyone can relate. And so I sneak in some, personal development concepts that maybe people haven't thought about in exactly that way. And so when they eat, digest, or poop, then they can think about these personal development things and actually be reminded of them. Because as I was doing my self-help personal development journey, I read a lot of amazing books, but afterwards I was like, I don't quite remember what they talked about. So I thought by mapping it to a process that happens every day and multiple times a day,
yes,
then maybe we'd have a chance to actually remember these concepts.
Well, I think I have to go now. We're talking about number. No, just kidding. So did you seek out some help from other authors or experts, let's say, before actually beginning the process, or did you just dive right in?
Well, I kind of dove right in, but it was a personal journey in terms of when I decided to finally get on it, which was COVID, because we were all,
yes,
stuck in our houses.
Right.
And I thought, okay, now I'm going to write this book. But I joined a writing group online, and they were teaching me about traditional publishing, hybrid publishing, self-publishing. They were, a proponent of traditional publishing because they were a publishing house.
Yep.
So when I looked at the terms and what was going on, how that works, they say, you submit a manuscript and they might publish it in 18 to 24 months.
Yep.
I'm like, what? That is so long to wait.
Exactly.
So I decided to learn how to self-publish. So I took a course, and when I got in the course, they were like, we're going to teach you how to self-publish using contemporary romance so that you have a chance to actually make some money as well. I was like, what? I don't read romance. I've I don't know anything about it except Hallmark movies.
Right.
And, but I said to my husband, I've just bought this course for a few $1,000s. What am I going to do? And he goes, just commit to it for like a year. Let's see where this goes and just go all in.
Right.
So I decided to do that. And when I got into it, I actually saw the process is to use a ghostwriter to write your books. But when I saw the quality of the ghostwriting, I was just like, this kind of sucks, because I was paying bottom dollar for it. Yeah. So I started writing it myself, and maybe using my engineering analysis brain, yeah. I was looking at other books and I was saying, okay, what are the essential components to a good romance book? And, if you know Hallmark movies, I can almost set my watch, and I look at my watch, it's like 20 minutes to the hour, and they're going to get into that last final fight where you don't think they can recover, but by the top of the hour, they're together again and yep. going to live happily ever after. So I knew there was a recipe, and I taught myself that recipe through I don't know whether it's my logical brain. And then I just started writing books to that recipe. And after 23 titles, I was like, what am I doing? I meant to do this to publish my own book, and now I'm just like lost in this world of romance. So, I stopped writing romance. I did this book, and now I have more skills than I ever imagined I would have in the publishing and writing world.
So the book is using number 2 to get to number 1, and now is it an e-book? Is that what it is?
It's an e-book. It's a paperback. It's a hardcover, and it's soon to be an audiobook. I've finished recording it, and we're just doing the final both run-throughs and everything. So it should be an audiobook too.
Oh, good. So where did you do the recording? You have a home studio, or how did that process work?
No, I went with a recording studio, and I sat there and I spoke it.
That's right, spoken word. So
yeah.
And I guess the lesson after all of that is to write about what you actually know. And you knew engineering, logical thinking, how to get big ideas into a concise format, I'm imagining, when you have to, design a pipeline system or something. And, everybody says, okay, do a pipeline. Well, then you have to put it on paper and figure out the A's and B's and C's and how to get from A to H, etc. And then do what you're good at. Everybody might try to do something they think that the audience or the reading world wants, but no, they want what you can do the best way that you can do it. So
and there's part of me that was kind of like, people are going to judge me for being the poop lady. But it got to be so like this calling. It was an inner calling that I was like, if I don't write this, I'll be really upset. Like if I die before I get this out, that'll be my big regret in life. So I thought, I'm just going to do it and put it out there. And honestly, just been having so much fun talking to people about it.
So is that one of the misconceptions when people first come across the title is, oh no, what's this all about? I don't think I want to read about poop. But it's really a self-help book and more, in all sorts of different ways.
Yep, that's exactly. So, and, I don't talk too much about I've got 5 sections or something. The first one is eating, and then digesting, and then pooping, and then affogato, which is like a coffee vanilla ice cream dessert, because I'm sort of inserting some warmth and some more connection that has to do with the digestive system and the fact that we're all connected. And then the last bit is cleaning up. So it's kind of like a meal. I've fashioned it to be like a meal. And the cleaning up is just, summaries and thank yous and all that stuff.
So I understand you also part of the Saskatoon Women's Network. How does that work for you?
Well, after COVID and after starting I was helping people with personal development, doing one-on-one calls, and seeing a lot of people every week, but just online. I realized I needed to get to know some people in real life. So this year, I just put myself out there. I started going to different groups, and I really enjoyed a lot of the women I was meeting at the Saskatoon Women's Network, and became a board member and I'm enjoying my time there.
Great. And how do we obtain the book using number 2 to get to number 1?
You can order it on Amazon, or it can be ordered in whatever bookstore you want. I've got a few copies in Saskatoon at Turning the Tide bookstore just off Broadway.
Yes.
And otherwise any online place, or go to your bookstore and ask them to order it.
That's right. Using number 2 to get to number 1. Angela Jamieson. You have a website, I assume, because I'm looking right at it.
Right. It's www.angelajamieson.com, and there you can find sort of the latest and greatest of what I'm busy with. I do have a relaxed productivity course and membership that I run. So that is trying to help busy professionals like I used to be just change their ideas, change the way they massage their thoughts, so that no matter how busy they are, they can be relaxed. And by relaxing, we actually get more done quicker. So, I'm running that online course and the memberships. We just have a good time applying the different ways that I've presented to them in how to think. It's all very logically based, and I just love doing what I'm doing. So I'm also doing sort of book coaching, I guess, helping people in the writing process, the publishing process, and the marketing.
Well, so you have a full toolkit.
Yeah. I'm just going with the flow. I'm kind of seeing where this chapter in my life is going. You know, as a petroleum engineer, I had a job waiting for me in Calgary after my international travels, and I just didn't want to live there. So
Nope.
we bought the acreage that I grew up on from my parents, and raising our kids here. And I knew I had to reinvent myself, and this journey has just been so much fun.
It's www.angelajamieson.com, JAMIESON, because if you misspell it, you might get somewhere else, because I just did that. So do you have any other book projects in mind?
Well, I also run the Virtual School of Humankind, where we are trying to encourage kind discussion. So how to have a kind discussion with someone you might not agree with. And so we spent many times, events where we would bring in people interested in talking about a topic, and we would have a discussion about it. And together with the faculty members at the School of Humankind, we published a book called How to Live an FGL, meaning and you can put in whatever F word you want, but it's, effing glorious life. And everyone wrote a chapter as to how they live an effing glorious life. So that's another project that I have worked on. But they're going to keep coming, because now I know how to write and publish. The world is going to say, stop publishing already.
I don't think they will. Angela Jamieson, using number 2 to get to number 1, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me on your show, Dennis. It was certainly a pleasure.
Thank you for visiting with us today. This is Talking Books and Stuff with Dennis Rimmer. Contact him at dennis@talkingbooks.tk. Thank you, and may all the good news be yours. Oh, and don't forget to check out his book, The Great Canadian Notebook, available across Canada and at amazon.ca.